గోపాల్ సార్, ఐఎమ్ ఆడిబుల్ సార్. నేను నా మాట వినపడుతుందా సార్? ఐఎమ్ ఆడిబుల్?
Yes, sir. You're audible very much.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే సార్.
సార్ జాయిన్ అయ్యారేమో చూడండి. అది యూట్యూబ్ లో శ్రీనివాసరావు గారు, శ్రీనివాసరావు సార్,
సార్
అశోక్ మిశ్రా గారు జాయిన్ అయ్యారు చూసుకుంటూ ఉన్నాడు
సార్. ఆయన 10:10 కి కనెక్ట్ అవుతా అని చెప్పారు సార్.
ఓకే, పీపీటీ వచ్చిందా సార్ మనకి?
Oh, hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, very good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. So,
Good morning, sir. Myself, Dr.
good morning, Praveenji. How are you?
Fine, sir. Thank you, sir. How are
I
you?
was not able to unmute, but then somebody had to do it for me.
Yes, sir. I think that is some admin controls are there, sir.
Right. Right.
Sir, now you were made as co-host, sir. You are free to mute and unmute for yourself. No problem.
Okay.
Sir, we have actually communicated this information to AICT, sir.
Okay.
So AICT has posted in their Twitter handle actually,
Oh
and
God.
also they have given mail to all the colleges across India actually. So we will be having participants from pan India level, sir. Actually.
All right.
Sir, even this session is being live streamed over YouTube. So as some of the people are watching on YouTube also.
Yeah. My goodness. I'm nervous now.
No, no, sir.
Okay. Okay, let me try to share my screen and see if it works. Shall I try to share my screen?
Sir, yes, please. Sir. Yes, please, sir.
Let's see if it works.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine, sir.
Can you see it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I have to be able to.
Sir, if you can make it like a full screen, it will be great, sir.
Right, right. I think that's good.
Yes, sir. Very good, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, good. Perfect. So I'll stop the screen share now. Okay. So who are the participants, Professor Praveen?
Sir, actually, in our college, we have about 5 to 6 seminar halls, sir. Actually,
Okay.
so in all halls, I advised all our HODs, faculty, and our students to be seated.
Okay.
So around some 700-800 students will be watching your sessions through seminar halls, sir. We have all the audio and LCD projectors in the seminar hall.
Okay.
So that is with respect to our college, sir. And in some computer labs also we have LCD projectors. So around
Okay.
7-8 computer labs also. Each lab about 100 students. They are also joining the session, sir. And few of our faculty individually they will be joining, and rest we have communicated to our neighboring college, and ACT communicated to pan India level all the colleges, sir. So in a Zoom meeting we have capacity up to 1,000. And more if participants joins, then we'll share YouTube links, sir. Actually,
Okay.
so in some portals have already shared YouTube link.
Okay. All right. And you will control the mute and questions or if there are any, right?
Yes, sir. We have Professor Gopal Krishna Garu.
Okay.
So he is expert in doing all these activities, sir. So when
Okay.
you are talking, we'll make everybody mute actually,
Okay.
and we take questions which are there in the chart, and few 1 or 2 participants we will allow directly also.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Gopal sir, you want to add anything?
Nothing, sir. Sir, when your session is going on, all the participants will be on mute, sir, to avoid
Okay.
any inconvenience.
Okay.
Once your session is finished, we can take some questions from the chat box.
Okay. Okay. We have about 10 more minutes to go, right?
Yes, sir. 10 more minutes.
Okay.
Dr. Srinivas Garu, would you like to add something?
Gopa sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are.
Sir, very much audible, very much.
Yeah, you want to add something, Srinivas?
Yes, myself, sir. Hello, sir.
Okay, I'll join back in 2 minutes, okay?
Okay, sir. Ashok, sir. Thank you.
Just, I'm here only. It's not like I'm
Okay, sir.
muting myself, that's all.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, చెప్పండి sir.
After you introduce and all that, then I will share my screen. Okay. Perfect. Looks like in good shape.
I request all the participants to please switch off your video to conserve bandwidth. Srinivasa Garu, shall we start? It's 10:30 now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. I'm starting, sir.
Welcome to all the participants for this webinar on fostering creativity and innovation in technology by Professor Dr. Ashok Misra, distinguished professor from IIC Bangalore and former director IIT Bombay. Now I request Dr. Srinivasa Garu, the coordinator of this webinar, to read brief introduction about the resource person for today, Sri Ashok Misra Garu.
Thank you, Professor Gopalakrishna Garu. Very good morning to all of you. I am Dr. B. Srinivasa Rao, Faculty Development Dean, along with Professor P. Gopalakrishna Garu, Dean Accreditation and Assessment. A warm welcome to the management, director, principal, senior administrative officer, distinguished speaker, and all participants of this webinar. It's a great pleasure for us to have Dr. Ashok Misra as our DCP professor for this scheme, and he is very kind enough to present this presentation today itself. And I briefly read his profile. Professor Ashok Misra is currently National Academy of Sciences India Distinguished Professor at the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Earlier, he was Chairman India of Intellectual Ventures from 2008 to 16. He was Director of IIT Bombay from 2000 to 8, and he was at IIT Delhi from 1977 to 2000, and at Monsanto Chemical Company from 1974 to 77. He is an adjunct professor, Polymer Science and Engineering Department, University of Massachusetts. He was a visiting fellow, Trinity College, University of Cambridge on 3 occasions. He obtained his BTech from IIT Kanpur, MS from Tufts University, and PhD from University of Massachusetts. He was conferred the Doctor of Science by Thapar University of Patiala. He has held several responsibilities with Ministry of Education, Government of India, including Chairman, Standing Committee of IIT Council, Chairman, Board of Governors, IIT Roorkee, Chairman, Joint Entrance Examination Apex Board, and Member Board of Governors, IIT Delhi. Professor Misra is a Fellow of National Academy of Sciences, India, NASI, and was its President from 2006 to 8, and a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering. He is founder president of the Polymer Processing Academy, former president of the Society of Polymer Science India, and founder president of the IIT Alumni Center, Bangalore. Professor Misra is an independent director of the board of directors of Kirloskar Electric Company Limited, Jubilant Pharmava Limited, and Higher Education Funding Agency. Earlier, he was an independent director on the board of directors of Reliance Industries Limited, Jubilant Pharma Limited, National Thermal Power Corporation Limited, Rashtriya Chemicals and Fertilizers Limited, and Jubilant Industries Limited. He is on the advisory board of the IV Cap Ventures Private Limited, Log9 Materials Scientific Private Limited, and Neuro Equilibrium Diagnostic Systems, etc. Distinguished alumnus awards from all his alma mater, University of Massachusetts, Tufts University, and IIT Kanpur. Distinguished Service Award, Polymer Processing Society, Indian Chemical Council Lifetime Achievement Award for Education and Research, National System Gold Medal, Kimpro Platinum Standard Award, Bhatnagar Memorial Award at 94th Indian Science Congress, Chemtech CEW Award, and Acharya Praful Chandra Ray Memorial Award of Indian Chemical Society. He has guided 22 doctoral students, co-authored a book, has 16 patents, over 182 international publications. Having a this wonderful profile. It is a great honor for us to have Professor Dr. Ashok Mishra to be the guest speaker of this webinar. I request
Thank you so
Dr.
much.
Ashok Mishra sir to kindly start the sessions.
Thank you so much for the generous introduction. I had sent you that, but I thought you would shorten it, but you said the whole thing. But anyway, it's
Yes,
actually it's a pleasure to be a distinguished professor of AICTE, and I've given some lectures last year in some colleges, and I'm glad that this round I'm starting with GRITET, Raj Institute, and Rangaraj Institute of Science and Technology and Engineering. Sorry. Okay. So I would like to share my screen, and then we will take it from there.
The screen is visible, sir.
Yeah, I'm going into the, yeah. Okay, so Gokar Raju, Rangaraju Institute of Engineering and Technology. My felicitations, my greetings to all the faculty and students, and all those who are joining from other institutions. Thank you for arranging this in the webinar mode. I do hope to come and visit you one time sometime in the near future. Okay, so I'd like to start with this thing saying, what is the importance of higher education? And then we will go into science and technology and innovation and creativity. So higher education is the backbone of a country's future. All countries that have advanced technologically and economically have very robust higher education institutions. Examples you all know, but just to repeat it, USA, England, Germany, France, Japan, and many, many more. Singapore put emphasis on higher education about 2 decades back, and even with a small number of universities, all of them are ranked fairly high in the world. More recently, China invested a huge amount in building its universities, and we see the results of how Chinese education system is going forward. The countries that have a superior higher education system will have an edge in today's world. It will attract students and faculty from all over the world. We have seen this happening in the UK in the early days, because English-speaking countries was there in the early days of India's development, and then in recent times, in the last 4 or 5 decades, in the US. Okay, higher education, institutions of higher education are really temples of learning, where knowledge is transmitted through the teaching mode and new knowledge is created through the research mode. We need to give greater emphasis on creativity and innovation at all levels of education in the country, especially at the higher education level, and in our case, in technical education. Because it's a technology which makes new things happen for the advancement of a country. Alongside, we should have in the country and in institutions some strength in sciences and social sciences, because they need to interactions with these subjects. And this leads to technological and economic growth, leading to new enterprises, employment, and social change. We in India have a huge young talent, huge number of young talent, but have to make our higher education system more robust. As an example, we approximately 50 lakh students finish science in the 12th grade in the country. And if we say 10% are of world-class level, every year we would have 5 lakh students which would be of world-class level, and we have to provide them that education. In fact, I get disturbed by some higher-end schools which take pride in saying that the entire class has gone for education abroad because they couldn't get into either good colleges, or they didn't try to get into good colleges in India, and they find the education abroad is better, and we should change that. We should look forward to India. We should take India forward in higher education to make her the destination of higher education, and in this case, in technical education. So what are the focus areas? What are the focus areas in any higher education institutions that provides research? Of course, education I mentioned already, to develop high quality manpower, and all of you are doing that. Basic research and development is to develop new knowledge and develop researchers. Applied research and development would be to develop advanced technologies for the nation, and then create an ambience where technology becomes a conduit for creativity, inventions, innovation, and innovations to flourish. Then we should provide technology incubation opportunities, and that's happening in many colleges. And I don't know about your college, but if it's not happening, we should do something about it. And entrepreneurship, which leads to job creation and contributes to the GDP of the country. Okay, higher education system in India needs to be given a boost, and our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, had a vision to make India self-sufficient in her technological needs. And today we are talking of Atmanirbhar Bharat as a continuation of that theme that started 75 years ago. We need to produce manpower to carry out research, development, design, and industrial and technological growth. We need to create the scientific temper in the country, which will attract the best talent. And we need to create institutions that would provide the required ecosystem for education and research. And many colleges are there, but IITs at that time being the prime example. Just to give you an idea, we have 1,076 plus minus maybe 510 universities or deemed universities in India. Number of colleges are 45,000. We have approximately 30,300,000 students in higher education system. And this is greater than the population of several countries around the world. And if we say even 10% are of world class, this is another number. The talent should be in abundance in our country. This would be about 30 lakhs. And of course, on a rolling basis. With such a large number, India should be the hub of research and development, and this is a great opportunity. Among the 1,076, several need to take a lead and a leap in this direction. Sooner, the better. Okay, what is the importance of research focus? Because this is the theme of the talk. Teaching and research are the twin pillars for the success of an institution providing higher technical education. Teaching is undergoing a change in the current information age, where so much information is available on the internet that the students are really now become partners with the teachers, and we should change that scheme of things and take advantage of that. Emphasis on research, especially which is to the benefit of society and the economic growth of our country, should be of prime importance. We have to have emphasis on research, especially fundamental research, applied research, and directed research, which we'll talk a little bit about as we go along. The faculty must inculcate the culture of creativity and innovation amongst the students more than ever before. It was not done in my time so much, but it needs to be done much more now. Why is it important to develop a research culture? The institute has to be a fountainhead of creativity where new ideas flourish and from where inventions and innovations emerge. It's not that they will all go into startups, but they can go into industry, they can go into places like ISRO, BARC, DRDO. So many other possibilities are there. We have to attract high quality faculty, which come from abroad many times or from other institutions with a PhD and postdoctoral experience, and we should provide them a platform from research, because PhDs become the norm for getting faculty in an institution. We need to attract bright students whose creative talents have to be honed. And what is beyond all this is research and innovation leading to startups, enterprises, economic growth. This is one possibility that can happen. We have to fulfill the nation's goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Advances. Now, let me talk about a little bit of globalization and the economy. The advances in technology has led to globalization and therefore increased power of knowledge. The current era, we call it as a global economy or a knowledge economy, and by nature, this is all global. Advances in productivity are increasingly based on knowledge, which once disclosed spread faster than capital or people. Only recently, I think we have announced that India is likely to get a fab facility in Mysore, which should have come much earlier, but even if it comes now, not a bad thing to happen. And that is because knowledge is available in the world for that. All countries stand to benefit when new knowledge is shared internationally. Inventions and innovation occupy significant place in the knowledge economy, but alongside we have to be aware of sustainability. I'm in the area of polymers, and you must be all reading so much about how polymers are indiscriminately disposed of and are creating havoc everywhere, especially in the oceans where millions of tons of plastics have flown in. So we have to be a little responsible about that. I was reading a recent article about how to dispose of electronic waste, and that also is going to become a menace. We have to deal with it. Generation of new knowledge requires people. It doesn't come from heaven. It has to come from the brain. So you have to have people who are outstanding researchers, and they will be the ones who will produce more inventions and innovations with creativity as part of their ethos. Productivity will be based on new ideas, new inventions, new innovations. Research and creativity therefore becomes at the heart of this economy. Investment in people is essential and crucial for the knowledge economy and focus on India's long-term economic strategy. A little bit about Atmanirbhar Bharat is a vision of new India envisaged by the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. In 2020, announced a special economic and comprehensive package of 20 lakh crores, equivalent to 10% of India's GDP. The aim is to make India and its citizens independent and self-reliant in all senses. The 5 pillars identified would be economy, infrastructure, 21st century driven arrangements and systems, demands, vibrant technology, defense sector, so many other things. The industry has to play a role in all this. These industries should encourage the growth of higher education, and this is a must for India's higher education system growth. Industries are getting global, hence they should share their experience with educational institutions. When I was director of IT Bombay, I had several programs which we started with the industry because they needed knowledge, and we had the systems to provide knowledge. So several MTech programs were especially designed for the industry, and this is the kind of thing that has to go forward. Industry should fund fundamental research as well as applied research for the development. Sometimes industry thinks that fundamental research is not important, but that is the basis for applied research and technology. Atmanirbhar Bharat slogan is to provide synergy between education and industry. Industry should become active partners with higher education institutions and economic growth in the country. Back to higher technical education, it's a backbone for providing manpower to the industry and for the technological growth of India. We should have in the country and in the system sound bases in sciences, including biological sciences. We should develop cross-disciplinary areas within science and technology. And that we are seeing that you should have cross-disciplinarity between mechanical and computer science through robotics and whatnot, so many things, and many things. And then people should have some sort of an idea about economics, business development, business administration, finance, law, and entrepreneurship. Synergistic interaction with the industry is essential for mutual benefit. Excellent teachers and students to spearhead activities towards creativity and innovation. Okay, research focus has to be there, that every institution must have some sort of a research strategy. It doesn't mean that every institution should have the highest, very large amount of research, but some top-class research facilities should be there, where applied research for industrial development in a technical institution can take place. We have to create intellectual property through development of new ideas, inventions, and innovations. Research and innovations can lead to entrepreneurship. Higher education institutions with a strong research focus will have a greater impact in the future. I see there are 3 hands which are raised up. What do we do? Do we take those questions now or later on? Hello?
Sir, we will take it later, sir, after the
Okay,
end of the.
okay. So you can write down their names and then we'll have them ask questions if required. Okay, science is the base for development of all technology, technological and economic growth. Good technology follows good science. Any country that you see, US, Germany, Japan, and so on, which I've talked about in the past, they all have a very robust scientific system, a science base, and of course, followed that in engineering base. So we have to enhance the level of education and research in science and technology in higher technical institutions. Systems should provide ample opportunities for creativity and innovation for generation of new ideas to all level. Now, what do I mean by this is that if you have a curriculum which has X number of courses, some courses can be merged together or maybe dropped, and people may be given time to work on projects so that they come up with new ideas and whatever they've learned, convert them into some new ideas and innovations. I mentioned this earlier, we produce 50 lakh students at the 12th class level, and this is 5 billion, which is greater than the population of some countries around the world. Yet, later on, we find there's a shortage of good researchers in the area of science and technology, and we have to solve this problem in India. This is just a pyramid that you have fundamental science at the bottom. Let me see if I can get a pointer. And then leads to applied science, engineering, technology, and that's where your institution sits, leading to business, market, GDP, ultimately wealth creation and GDP. So there is science, research for knowledge's sake alone. Technology is application of knowledge, and then directed science, so that if we need to, let's say, solve problems of water or energy, then we say, okay, or waste management, then we say, okay, we'll have directed science in those particular areas. And the synergy between science and technology will be influenced by the directed research. Okay, creativity and innovation is the focus. So it's important to transform India into an innovation-driven economy with the help of higher education institutions, because we have to do it. We need to create national manufacturing and design capabilities in critical technology sectors. Atmanirbhar in defense leads to technology self-sufficiency in frontier areas. We have to create robust ecosystems, leveraging industry, academia, and the government. Fertile areas for innovation lie between domains and boundaries between domains. Make clusters in different areas of science and technology within the institute to take things forward. So we have to create an ecosystem, create interdisciplinary teams which are passionate innovators within the institute. Can consist of faculty, researchers, BTech students, and whatever team will lead to new ideas. And they can bid for projects outlining their benefits, measure the monetize the benefits from such innovative solutions. Mentors to assist the teams and individuals. Peer review is important. Guard against overcaution. We should not worry about failures, because whenever you think of new ideas, there will be some failures. In fact, in the startup system, continuously hear that 80%, 90% startups fail for the first time, and then when they come for the second round, then they succeed. Once a critical mass of self-motivated innovators is reached in any institution, then the activity will become self-sustaining. Generation of new ideas requires people, outstanding researchers. Productivity is based on inventions and innovations, I've said that earlier, and research and creativity therefore becomes at the heart of the new economy. Investment in people is crucial for the knowledge economy. Focus on India's long-term economic plan. And who is an inventor or innovator? It could be a researcher, faculty member, student, at any level, entrepreneur, employee, independent consultant, and so on. So how do we promote, how do we do this innovation in an institution? We have investment in facilities and equipment that are useful for high-end research as well as develop applications. So it's not necessary that we have high-end research thing. You have to decide which are the focus areas of the institution, which are the strengths of the institution, and focus on them. Sometimes people try to focus on too many things and too many areas and get nowhere. The institution should be known for one or two outstanding areas, and then of course you can expand, go to third area, fourth area, and as we progress in the life of the institution. Support projects that stimulate development of invention. Provide exposure to business for faculty members, researchers, and students by interaction with the industry, which I mentioned earlier. Encourage entrepreneurship. All these will offer opportunities for creativity, inventions, and entrepreneurship to flourish. So research and innovations leading to entrepreneurship is there's lots of things. There's difference in expectations from the potential licensing firm and institute. The industry expects, and I've seen that so many times, ready-made solutions that if you go to an institution and say, okay, I want this kind of a thing in the automobile sector, something has been developed in the institution, they need it ready for immediate induction in the manufacturing, and that is not possible because academics can only give ideas. Industry therefore needs to interact in a manner where they take the ideas, encourage the ideas, and try to build the demonstrator prototype at their end itself. Academic freedom, of course, is there, that people like to publish, but then once you publish, you can't patent and the like, and you have to do a thesis. So therefore, some compromise here and there or delay has to be done, that you patent first and publish later. Licensee preferences will be towards secrecy of invention. They don't want anything to be disclosed. So that has to be worked out. So we need to have a very good idea of intellectual property. So these are the challenges that you have to spread the awareness of IPR. Who owns the IPR? What is an IPR? How to protect an IPR? There was one time that there was a patent on a similar subject written by an Indian institution and a foreign institution. The protection by the patent written by a foreign country was so much better that it protected very well in many fronts that technology can go forward, whereas the Indian patent could be easily bypassed. So therefore, we have to have that knowledge. Then we have to have access to capital to invest in IP. IP is not cheap. In India, if you just patent in India, it may not be effective in the world. But if you want to have a patent in USA, Japan, it costs money. But then once you have the patent and it's a good technology, you can monetize it. So we also have a lack of comprehension on how to best commercialize the intellectual property. And sometimes inadequate enforcement of IPR and all that is there in the country. We have to sustain and grow ideas as we go forward, translate ideas into products. We have a potential to be an excellent hub for IP creation And over the last 2 decades, I have seen an improvement in that, but much more needs to be done. So what do we need to do? We have to have creative innovation that lead to development of new ideas worthy of commercialization. Potential entrepreneurs require to have a passion, self-belief, discipline, and perseverance. A logical follow-up in the institution would be technology business incubators. I'm not sure if you have that. If not, and you should do that. And then innovation centers, and like IIT Madras started with a research park, and now many other IITs are following with research parks, which are taking these things forward in a much bigger manner. Venture capitalists should flock around the campus in search of projects of commercial value. Sometimes when people start a new venture, they are looking for funding, but the people who are funding are looking for ideas which are worthy of investment, and they will make business sense later on in the progress of that particular venture. So this needs to be done. Venture capitalists should flock in the campus. The number of venture capitalists around the country was about 800 2 years back, and today the number has gone. Well, currently it's 800, but 2 years back it was only 500 plus. So institutions to provide opportunities of enterprises towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. Okay, so what do? We do research, then create ambience for creativity, leading to new ideas and innovations, intellectual property for public good, and wealth creation. So it can go to a public sector, or it can go to a new startup. And this is where you have to nurture the intellectual property. You get grants and you get research projects and you do something and you get new ideas. And then if you don't get money to take it forward, then this is the death valley that ideas can die. I mean, will not see the light of the day. But then if it is good ideas, you can get angel funding, venture funding, and then of course, go forward. So this is one way of going in: R&D, technology demonstration, prototype development, manufacture, sales, deployment, technology incubation for public good or wealth creation. Okay, increasing stress on research at an institution has to be a continuous process. What do you do about the research? Because without research, this won't happen just by teaching courses. Have a strong system for managing research and innovation. So you need a dean and a staff which will take care of it. Identify sub areas of focus which are the strength. I mentioned that earlier also. You can't identify all the areas, but let's take 2 or 3 in which you think you are amongst the best in the country. Increase number of PhD students to the extent possible. This is a challenge because getting a PhD student in IITs is a challenge, NIT is a greater challenge, and engineering institutions like yours would be even a greater challenge, but you have to start doing that somehow. But we can bring in research even at the master's and bachelor's level, because I would imagine that bachelor students everywhere in all colleges are the best students that you would get in the country. We can develop undergraduate research opportunities. As I said earlier, you can drop some courses, but give them a chance to work on projects of high value in terms of innovation. And then we can bid for projects which will have a greater chance of creativity and innovation. We can establish innovation and tinkering labs, hold technology festivals. Some of them are going on in the country, like Tech Fest in IIT Bombay and Eureka somewhere else, and so on. Have ideas competitions, hold technology business competitions, robust technology business incubators, share knowledge about developing business models, provide mentoring to technology incubators, invite angel fund investors and venture capitals to interact with the faculty and students. All technologies begin with inventions. Nothing happens just by itself. And inventions drive technology. So there are many more areas, but communications, telegraph, telephone, cellular, internet and so on. Information technology, computing, semiconductor, software, AI, ML, Internet of Things, and so on. Biology, vaccines, and diagnostics. Some of these are continuous process, and we need to develop new ideas and IP in these areas. Sometimes there is a confusion: what is invention, what is innovation? Invention is something totally foray in the unknown. Inventions is improvement of technologies. Most people will innovate, but some which are on the cutting edge of science and technology can invent also. So since I'm in the area of polymers, I give this example, and there are many examples, of course. Mr. Goodyear invented the vulcanization of rubber, where rubber could be cross-linked to make an elastomer. And rubber gained worldwide importance with the invention of air-filled pneumatic tires developed by Mr. John Dunlop. I don't know if they were Mr. or Doctor. They enabled the making of tires and tubes for the automotive sector. And before that, they were all horse carriages and this and that, which went on car and on wooden wheels. But this invention revolutionized the automobile industry. But later on, innovations have been there to improve the tires, the kind of polymers that you use, the kind of reinforcement that you give, so that they have long life and new types of elastomers have also emerged. Now we call this and I call this the golden age of innovations. And if you look at any of these areas, camera, movie, aeroplane, phone, television, X-ray, all these, and many more, very old products are suddenly changing. The cameras are changing. I'll give that example. Movies are changing. Now nobody goes to movie theaters. It's all Netflix and this and that. Radio, you don't even see a radio around. It's all on the cell phone and through Bluetooth into the speaker. Light bulb has changed from incandescent light bulb to the new kind of LED light bulb. Vaccines are growing every year. Last 2 years of the pandemic was a good example. Network connectivity and all these things are going. So this is, we say, is golden age of invention. No, golden age of invention is every year. So every year there are new things, new challenges. So it's a continuous process. And we have to address the digital divide, food and resource management, preservation of food. We lose a lot of food in India because preservation methods are not the best. Water management, energy generation, climate change, healthcare, waste management, and many, many more. These are just some examples of areas. It could be in bio-waste, water, adhesives, medical devices. I'm not reading all of them. Construction, semiconductors. A professor from University of Cambridge, actually of Indian origin, developed new steel which was better and lighter for the railway tracks and has acclaimed a lot of pride for it. Nanotechnology, continuous process, so many new things in nanotechnology are happening. Or you can take a theme about a car, like in a car, what are the things? There are batteries, now your capacitors, purification system, air purification, air separator, lightweight materials to make it lighter weight so they get better fuel efficiency, and so many other things. Or you can have a water theme based. Water, I wrote this slide, I actually picked it out of a presentation made several years ago, but still valid 10 years later or 8 years later. We still need cost-effective desalination technology. Then people are developing more and more. Filtration systems, technologies to reduce use of water, elimination of water, for example, in the dyeing of cloth process. And every industry that I'm associated with is looking at how to reduce the use of water and how to recycle the water, which is used for cooling towers, that and the other. And then rainwater harvesting, groundwater remediation, all these things continue to be a problem. Energy, lots of things are happening. Coal gasification for thermal power. Just to tell you, some of you may know, some of you may not know, when you burn coal, we talk about coal for energy. When you burn coal, since I was on the board of NTPC, I learned that the maximum efficiency you get of energy of burning coal is about 40-odd%, 38 to 40%. The rest of it is just lost to the atmosphere. If we can enhance that efficiency to 60% somehow, I am not in that area, so I don't know how, but that would be a huge challenge. Solar power, people are working on hydrogen, power utilization, lots of transmission losses are there. Can we reduce them? You have to have more fuel efficient automobiles and other manufacturing equipment. Building and construction can be also more energy efficient. So now, only recently I read in the newspapers a bunch of startups is turbocharging India's space economy, and you must be reading that some startup company has made a rocket which they are wanting to send into the space. And there are many more examples of that. Currently, there are about 75 startups that are registered for space technology, which used to be just ISRO, but now it's opened out to the world. So lots of opportunities have come through. Okay, so this is all a little bit more this thing now, and just give some examples of innovation areas that, of course, we have the Atal Innovation Mission, in which we have Atal tinkering labs in schools across the country and in colleges, cultivate million children in India to be innovators. The object of the scheme is to foster creativity, curiosity, imagination in young minds, and inculcate such design mindset which will help develop new ideas. At the last I saw, it may be changing number, but if there are 9,500 Atal labs, we should be making a huge difference. And number of projects and the number of students involved is given them. Okay, startup is a flagship initiative of the government. It's to catalyze startup culture. This will derive sustainable economic growth and generate large-scale employment. And some startup India Seed Fund is also been there, has been put in place. Since the launch in 2016, Startup India has rolled out several programs for supporting entrepreneurs and transform India into a job created instead of a job seeker, and again towards the Atmanirbhar goal. Okay, startup funding is huge. After the pandemic, this funding boom has come on the back of higher global capital liquidity. Unicorns, which is 1 billion valuation, have increased in India. The Indian market saw 42 unicorns over the last year. Overall startup valuation of these is 1 billion, so total they raised 28 billion. Currently, 1 out of every 10 unicorns in the world has been in India. Number of unicorns have been founded by IIT and IIM alumni, but there are many other colleges, college students who are coming up with startups. Okay, now some ideas. So all that was all numbers and things. Flexible electronics at IIT Kanpur, which I'm very, very impressed with. It has one of the little less known, but one of the best centers for flexible electronics in the world. So it has OLED display, OLED lighting, printable electronics, organic solar cell, printing inks, memory, sensors, and the like. Hugely funded project by the government of India at IIT Kanpur. And several startups have come from this center because they focused on one area, this flexible electronics center, to the best of my knowledge, only in IIT Kanpur in the whole ethos of technical education in the country. Checo, it's a startup, counterfeiting product develop for identify fake products. So they can put something on the product and see whether it's fake or genuine. Licotronics, inks, which can be conducting to build kits for learning pen and paper circuitry for educational kits. This is a startup from, these are technology developed by a faculty member in IIT Bombay. And these are basically all diagnostic systems to find out urine analysis, ACR analysis, antibiotic loaded impact, and cholesterol analysis, and like small devices which are much less expensive than those you would buy abroad. And each one of them is potential startup. In the area of nanoelectronics, there is engineering, material science, surface treatment, biotechnology, optics, sensors, IT, and energy, catalysts. Lots of nanotechnology areas which are coming up, and you can just focus on anyone you like. This is a very interesting, since it was mentioned that I'm on the advisory board of IBCAP, venture fund. One of the companies, IIT Bombay alumnus or alumni combined, they made this small robot. It's about 10 inches big, and this robot can talk and interact with kids. So many times, families are nuclear. The people have only one child, and the child becomes lonely. So this can interact with the child. Child can ask questions. In fact, one of my granddaughters has one, and she says, "Miko, dance with me," and then Miko starts dancing. "Miko, what is the capital of Russia?" And then you get the answer. So lots of knowledge creation through that also. It's unique with no other competitor at this point. First robot, which is a companion, priced competitively, multi-purpose device offering companionship, entertainment, and empathy. Human interaction is there and widely accepted by the industry. So he's going forward and selling it in America and many other countries. Then there's a Log9, which I'm on their advice. But I'm just taking examples. There are many examples, but I'm just taking more technology-oriented examples. It's a highly scalable, resource-efficient, and cost-effective technology. They have developed a battery in which there is water and aluminum rods as electrodes, and this produces energy to run a car or backup electric system in the house. When this, they call it the liquid battery, when it exhausts, you don't have to go to a charging station. You just change the water, put pure water, and change the aluminum rod, and it's good for another 800 kilometers and the like. So, or 1,000 kilometers. It's clean, no charging required. So they're developing this technology. They thought of it because of their experience in graphene, and graphene is one of the major things which is used here. Then they have developed new batteries which are used in electric battery systems in scooters, in three-wheelers, and in cars, which are a little bit more efficient and longer life. And the same Log9 people are doing that. Anthem Bio is a contract research and innovation provider built by IIT Delhi alumnus. And in its short history, it has become a powerhouse of drug and new product development in manufacturing, requiring chemistry, chemical engineering, and processes. In IIT Bombay, there's a Society of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. And they have incubated technologies, and there's the Idea Force technology in which these founders have developed UAV systems. Then there's a company which is called Atmanirbhar Technologies, which has developed more efficient ceiling fans, 65% more cost effective. Then there's a cybersecurity company, which is dealing with cybersecurity, everybody knows, dealing with the cybersecurity related issues. Immunoadaptive cell therapy, also developed by IIT Bombay alumni, taking forward. So just to give you an idea, if there's a technology incubator, and since I'm familiar with science, I picked these examples. IIT Delhi had this eSpin nanotech. Their alumni and faculty member started this, and they developed the face mask technology and several other things for during the pandemic. I don't know where, I think it's an IT Kanpur thing is, there are lots of solar cells all over, but they get dirty and they have to be cleaned. So they've developed a solar cell cleaning system that can be used. This is very interesting, is that you see all these packaging materials of styrene, styrofoam, as we call it, all over the place. What these people did is to develop, pick up flowers from temples, because temples have a huge amount of flowers which are available. And they pick up these flowers, reprocess them to make these foam-like materials in which a packaging can be done. And of course, since it is flower-based, it will be totally biodegradable. I think we did that already. So I'm sorry, this is come. So at GREET, what we can do is identify centers of strength in diverse areas and establish centers of excellence, encourage startups through technology incubators, provide an environment to translate knowledge and innovation into creation of successful entrepreneurs, create an ecosystem that will foster and support innovation and knowledge-based entrepreneurship, leading to creation of wealth. Major companies today are looking for acquiring startups because sometimes they're not able to get high-end engineers to join the companies, but with a startup, they can get the ideas and merge them into their system. So the development of universities with global standards is based on knowledge and people. Knowledge requires people, science and technology requires people, hence investment of people is important. It's a people, not capital or other sources, who are the heart of all this development. Knowledge economy requires a wide range of people with specialized knowledge. Education, research, and innovation are thus at the heart of new economic economy, leading to entrepreneurship and startups. Technology institutions have a great role to play in this Atmanirbhar strategy of the country. So we have to explore the infinite possibilities, and there's a huge opportunity to make an impact through creativity, innovation, and technology. So I think that's it. I finished it a little less than 1 hour, which I wanted to, because I would prefer to have many more questions and discussions and interactions with the people. So thank you, Dr. Srinivas. You can now take over. I'll stop share, and if required, I can share it again.
So thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful session. Sir, shall we take some questions from the participants, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. Participants who are interested to ask some questions to the speaker can raise their hands so as I can unmute them so they can ask the questions. Requesting participants interested to interact with the resource person can raise their hands.
Yeah, I see several hands that have been raised. There is a, shall I take them?
Yes, please, sir.
Jidong Kang. And there may be some questions in the chat box also.
Jedon Kang, sir, you can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Thank you for your inspiring I want to know how we become an innovative researcher.
Sorry?
What's your advice? Okay. My question is, how can
Sorry, Mr. Jadam.
Yeah, why
because
don't you put the
we
question
need
in the
the
chat box?
innovation.
Yeah. I couldn't hear the question. Can you?
Yeah, even I could not hear, sir. Mr. Jadam, please submit your question in the chat box. We will take it up.
Okay, Jayashree Vajpayee.
Jayashree Vajpayee, you can ask your question. Jayashree Vajpayee, you can ask your question. Sir, shall we take the next question?
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Suryansh?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. So thank you for your inspiring session. Sir, my question is, sir, you stated about a technology called Mika, which your granddaughter also use. But isn't that a technology which will cut her from the parents? And isn't it a innovation for just the sake of innovation?
No, it's not that it's cutting from parents. Parent interaction continues, but sometimes parents are busy, so it can be a knowledge provider to her.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
In fact, to the company, we have suggested that sometimes some single parents may be also too lonely, so they can have an equivalent for adults also. But let's see what happens.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
This is Jayashree Vajpayee. I was trying to unmute my mic earlier. It wasn't getting unmuted.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, I would like to know one thing. While fostering innovation in the government colleges, the state government colleges, where we have some lack of funds, students find it very difficult to get the proper ecosystem for innovation. They may have ideas, but they are not able to to convert them into products. They may at the most convert them into some small projects. So that is the basic thing. How can we get the support for converting proper projects into products and then test them?
Yeah, so two things are there. I mean, that was the whole idea of this thought, that the institution should look for funds that will help that. Atal Innovation Centers is one thing, but you can pitch for funds from, there are many sources, but it has to be encouraged by the institution itself. And as I said, you have to invest in people. If people are the ones who are coming up with new ideas, they should be encouraged some way or the other. I'm not a funding agency, so I cannot answer that fully.
Sir, we were just looking for certain leads to.
Yeah, so the Department of Science and Technology, Department of, and there also there is a, within that there is a subset, I forget the name of it, which helps with startup funds and things like that.
Oh, okay, sir.
But industry, you can, if it's a good idea, you can go to the relevant industry and maybe they'll fund it.
The problem is mostly many a times the student do have some project which can be converted into a product, but the teacher in charge may not be interested in going through all the hassles of managing the funds. How can it be acknowledged?
They have to work hard towards it. Like I said, it's people. If people are not interested, it has to be the joint effort of the student and the teacher. That is a given. If one party of those is not interested, institution is not interested, then nothing outside agency can do.
Right, because the problem arises because our rules are very stringent regarding finances. The procedures are very complex, and it becomes by the time.
Where are you from?
I'm from MBM University, Jodhpur. We are a state university, and the problem is that by the time the sanction comes, half the semester is gone. And then when we start working on it, the student
Another
gets busy in
the exams. Yeah, you have to solve these problems locally. Sorry, I can't.
So how do, if we give progressive project, suppose one student starts with an idea, one group of students, and then they graduate and another group of students comes
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
How do we the
Of course,
IP?
that can go forward, and the link pin becomes the teacher or the faculty who will continue that project from 1 year to the next year. And then if you have an IP, both sets of students can be on that IP.
Right.
Okay,
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank
Sure.
you. For
sure. Very good.
Mr. Tarun Shukla, you can unmute yourself. Tarun Shukla. Mr. Tarun Shukla. Lakshmi Nair. Lakshmi Nair. It's okay. Sir, shall we take some questions from chat box also, sir?
Yeah, of course.
Sir, one question by Mr. Srinivas. How can an average person develop the innovative mindset? Is there any process for that? Can we take clues from the Indian knowledge system for improving the creativity levels?
Yeah, so of course, there are two ways. One is that challenging problems to be given in the teaching curriculum of the institution, and of course some time provided, guidance to some free time given to develop to work on projects. Not everybody has to be an innovator, but some people who can be, it will be very useful in that sense.
Sir, another question. How can we give continuous support to students in innovative ideas which have incubated in first year or any year of study?
So if there are good ideas, then you can go to an angel funder or in venture capitalists and see if they will be interested. And they may provide some seed funding, because in the beginning, you don't require a huge amount of funding to prove your idea. And if it comes to some sort of a fruition, then like I was giving this example of Log9, when they started, it was in just 2 rooms in a garage sort of thing with their graphenes, and they started some small projects. Now they're employing like 3,000 people, 2,000 people to take it there.
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, the current challenge in maybe South India or across pan India level. So there are 2 major challenges are coming, sir. One is people are migrating to all computer science. So 70%, 75%, everybody wants computer science only, and people who are opting for mechanical, electrical, civil engineering. So day by day, people are like less people are preferring to go for core engineering subject. That is one problem. The second challenge is with respect to MTech. As there is a huge demand in software companies, and most of the people, engineering graduates, are getting into the software companies, and very less takers are there with respect to MTech in most of the private engineering colleges. So it is another challenge, because tomorrow, if people don't do MTech, so it will be very difficult to sustain engineering college, because MTech is the minimum requirement. So these are all my 2 questions, sir, how to address.
Yeah, these are the challenges of the country. Even in IIT system, when I graduated in 68, if you got a job at L&T, you were so proud, or Tata Motors, you were so proud that you got a job in a company like that. Or now it has become that L&T doesn't even go to IITs to recruit, because nobody is joining, and they join, they leave. This problem has to be solved. The computer science became popular because the service providing companies, I mean, I don't know what to name, you all know them. There's TCS, Wipro, Mindtree, there's that, Infosys. They started paying a huge amount of salaries to attract people to their companies. The other manufacturing companies have to work towards having better salary systems so they can attract them. once that happens, then things will change. In fact, some of the computer companies are saying that these guys are going to, the top students are going to places like McKinsey and consulting companies or banks, and so they're even lost to the computer science community. So this is a problem, and how do we, of course, address the major programs of the country like ISRO and PARC and DRDO, where you need top engineers which are not joining them now. All you can do is you can provide an ambience where they can think of new ideas which are not AI or computer science based when they're there, and come up with the solutions which will help the industry or startups. I don't know how to solve this problem of you talk to some young students and their parents, and everybody says कि वो computer science नहीं मिला तो उधर चला गया, so they go to some other college where computer science is there.
What about MTech, sir? MTech challenge, because people are not preferring to study MTech. Most of them either they want to go abroad or they want to get into jobs actually.
Yeah.
So day by day, the people who are coming for MTech programs are the number is going down. So how to address this challenge, sir?
And PhD would be even worse, right?
Sir.
PhD programs will be even worse.
Yeah, true, sir. Yes.
I don't know how to solve that problem, but if you provide some areas which if you think of some areas which can be developed into at the GRIT, which are amongst the best in, let's say, Hyderabad, Bangalore area, and you say, if I want to do this work, I have to go there, and that's the only thing you can do.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so I said that in the beginning, we have to have a robust, when you say robust system, it requires, robust system requires MTech, PhDs, all those things, not just BTech. We have to do it. There's no choice. How many PhD students do you have at GRIT?
Sir, actually, we have research extension center from university, and about some 30-40 students are doing PhD, where our teachers are either guides or co-guides. But research work they are doing at the college, but the registration of PhD is done with some universities, outside university like JNTU, the Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University,
right.
like that. Sir.
Yeah, so that's all right.
We have about 110 PhD faculty working in our college.
Very good. And total number of faculty is how much?
340, sir. 340 people working. Out of them, 110 are PhDs, and mostly they are from IITs, NITs, and government universities.
Okay. You're saying 110 as a good number. I would say only 110. It should have been 350.
Sir.
You can't get them.
Yes, sir. Day by day, getting PhD people also becoming a challenge, sir.
Yeah.
So shall we take a question from
Yeah,
chat box?
sure.
Mr. Jadong Kang.
Professor Praveen, we can discuss that offline, you and the faculty of GRIT.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Sir,
When
a
I
question from
come and visit sometime. Yeah.
Yes, sir. You are most welcome.
A question from Jadong Kang. As a teacher and professor, how can I improve creativity of students? How can I produce innovative research articles?
What is the question again?
As a teacher, how can I improve creativity of students?
Oh, yeah. So give them, that's easy to do. Give them challenging problems. When you teach, if you just give a simple problem and they, give them homework problems, you can give them even take-home problems, and come up with which answers are not easily available in the literature, so they have to think and come up with some ideas. So that is the kind of creativity you can start building, and then, as I said, that some courses may be only project-based, then they have to think, but then you have to evaluate them properly, not just give them grades because they did a project-based course. So give examples in the teaching. Give examples of not just the curriculum, but examples which are of practical importance, and then give them homework problems which are require thinking and innovation. So that will inculcate thinking process.
Mr. Rohan Kumar, you can unmute yourself and ask the question. Mr. Rohan Kumar.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Sir, thank you for giving you a wonderful session. Sir,
Thanks. I'm
my
glad you
name is
liked
Rohan
it.
Kumar. Yes, sir. So I am in the branch of electrical electronics, and this is the first year. So my question is how electrical electronics is good for the future generation, and how he can develop himself for upcoming technologies.
So I'm not in the area of electronics, so I can't say what, but lots of new devices that you have, including telephone, telegraph, television, microwave oven, the white goods, the computer, the refrigerator and other things. They all require electronic inputs to make them efficient, to make them safe. So therefore, electronics has become a very central focus of in the car, in the automobile. How much electronics is there today? It's huge amount. In fact, I just heard a talk where they're talking about how much computer stuff is in a car. It's a car with a computer. Now it's a computer with a car. So all that is going on. There's some question which says, can too much of AI hurt? Not really. It should not hurt. It should be used as a supplement to what else is happening in the world. I'm not in the area of AI, but AI makes the manufacturing and lots of application areas much more efficient. Did that answer your question, or? Hello?
Mr. Arjun Kumar, you can unmute yourself. Mr. Arjun Kumar.
Yeah, sir, thank you, sir, for choosing me. Sir, some students came from tier 3 colleges. If they have idea and they are not able to convert it into a product because of that means they didn't get the atmosphere of tier 1 college. My question is that, sir, that the student is studying in tier 3 colleges, how can he connect to the right people who might help them to convert their idea into a product? Or you can say that how can he build the right team? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so in your area, let us say you're in Hyderabad area. So what you have to be a little proactive and find out which are the venture capital funds which are available in Hyderabad. If not Hyderabad, then you have to look at Bombay or Bangalore and approach them with your ideas. And if they see any venture capital, if I was a venture capitalist, since I'm involved in this, one thing we see is that is there a business, is there an innovative product? And then is that innovative product, does it have a business model? So many innovative ideas get killed because they don't have a proper business model. And these venture capitalist companies can actually guide you to take it forward. You can also interact with tier 2 and tier 1 colleges which are in your area. So supposing you are in the area of Hyderabad, you have to reach out and go to IIT Hyderabad. IIT Hyderabad, I'm sure, will be happy to help in some manners, because one of the mandates to the IIT system is to help other engineering colleges. So you can explore those possibilities. So lots of possibilities are there. But our country is large, like you said, there are 45,000 colleges, of which maybe 20,000 maybe engineering colleges. Where does 20,000 engineering colleges go? Where do they go for the further thing? But you have to do something. Yeah. So somebody has asked some more information on nanosensors. There are two outstanding centers of nanotechnology or nanoelectronics, as they call it. One is in IIT Bombay, the other in IC Bangalore. If you write to them, and there are facilities there, they are available for use by many colleges. You have to go and give your samples for analysis and interactions with them. And they developed a lot of nanosensors for the chemical domain and air quality and, as you said, health sensor domain. So I would say to start with IIT Bombay and IC Bangalore, but there may be others.
Dr. Soma Banerjee?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Myself is Dr. Soma Banerjee. I am just started working as an assistant professor in the State University. So my question is that, specific question is that, as a newly joined faculty in the State University, what are the project opportunities, project funding opportunities that I can go for? Okay, I have understanding about the DST and CSIR or UGC. Other than that, what can be the opportunity for a newly joined faculty to get some project funding easily with the State University infrastructure?
Yeah, so of course, you already mentioned DST and CSIR, but there's also a Department of Electronics, the Department of Atomic Energy, there's Department of Space. So depending on the project, the domain that you are working in, you can also I don't know what it's called, for energy or alternate energies. So depending on the area that you're working in, you can actually try for funding. Or if you know which industry you may be interested, you can write to them also. Now, these are very specific questions, so one has to actually be there.
Yes. Okay, sir. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, my specific area of research is in the energy devices. So for that, is there any other specific organizations which can give this kind of finding?
Yeah. So energy, there's of course NTPC is there, and there's lots of energy companies. There is Renew Power, which is in Delhi, a private company. So you can, depending on how exciting your product is, they may take an interest. You can write to them.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you for this interactive section. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Sunil, you can unmute yourself. Mr. Sunil.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, my question is regarding research publication.
Where are you from?
I am from, sir, Ratnagiri, Maharashtra.
Okay.
I am from private college, sir.
Okay.
Sir, my research is regarding research article publication, like international research, like Nature or Springer. They charge some publication charges, and if we convert that cost in our rupees, that comes around 5 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 7 lakhs. And if any one of our Indian professor, particularly private college professor, want to publish it, he cannot afford that amount. So what can government can do in that direction so that they can publish, or any our professor can publish?
No, I'm not sure I can answer that question so easily. But which is the area that you are looking for?
For interdisciplinary area, actually, I am looking. I have research in some mathematical work, mathematics field.
Yeah. So I would say maybe to begin with the Department of Science and Technology. You can look at.
Okay.
And the previous lady who asked the question, where are you from? You said you joined recently. As a faculty member. Doesn't matter.
Sir, Dr. Kalyan Chakravarti?
Yes.
Dr. Kalyan Chakravarti.
No, there was a lady, Anyway, doesn't matter.
She left the meeting, sir.
She left the meeting. Okay.
Dr. Kalyan, you can ask your question. Dr. Kalyan, are you there? Dr. Kalyan? Okay. Suryansh Ranjan?
Good
Suryansh.
morning, sir. Good morning, sir. My name is Shuryansh Ranjan. I belong to the city of Prayagraj. So my question is that, sir, that I always wanted to be an entrepreneur from my early school days. But now I'm enrolled in an engineering college in the first year in the branch of CSC. So I just want guidance. How can I utilize the 4 year of BTech so I can be a better entrepreneur in future and an inventor also? Thank you, sir.
So you have to interact with your teachers. Where are you studying in Prayagraj?
Sir, I'm studying in ABS Engineering College in Ghaziabad, sir.
Oh, in Ghaziabad. Okay. So
Okay,
you can
sir.
talk to
Yes,
your professors and see which of the professors are a little bit more inclined towards innovations, and if you have some ideas.
Yes, sir.
If you have some ideas, then you can interact with that professor and take things forward. Now, I'll also give you an example that this Biko guy who I was talking about. He's not he's computer science graduate. He's a graduate in material science, but he has a passion. He had a passion for electronics, so he went and looked at robotics and studied and developed that. There's another entrepreneur I've come across. He's now in the education space for schools. He's a graduate in chemical engineering. So whatever is your passion, you can follow on the side and interact with the professors in that area. And in Allahabad, there is the Allahabad Motilal Nehru NIT, the National Institute of Technology. You can go there, interact with them, and they will have some good professors. In Ghaziabad, I don't know which is close by, but IIT Delhi is there. Shiv Nada University may not be that far. You can go and interact with them and find out. You have to reach out a little bit if you're an innovative person.
So will other universities allow the student like me from another engineering college in their institutes?
You have to try, and the opportunity would be to see if you can get an internship in the summer.
Okay, sir.
During the semester, they'll also be busy and you'll also be busy. But you can look for an internship. This long line people I was talking about from IIT Roorkee, they did an internship at a university in Canada and learned about graphene, and that became the starting point of their startup.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for this wonderful session, sir.
Yeah.
Ms. Archana Upadhyay?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. It was a wonderful session. Sir, I have an issue which I feel all over our country we have this issue that whatever research we do in the lab, it gets restricted to the lab itself. It is not applied on a mass scale to many areas. For example, people have worked in paper. People have worked to convert the rice bran to paper. There are paper industries who do that, but still we have burning of the wheat bran in Punjab and all that. When all of that can be channelized to actually making paper or something useful, cellulosic products. So how can we overcome this of translation of the lab work to a large scale to actually apply what the students work in the lab and the innovations which are happening in the lab to the industry and to the country for these environmental issues.
Right. See, any innovation that you do has to have a customer or a startup. So right from the beginning, you can start with interacting with the industries in the paper industries and see what their requirements are, and are the innovations that you're talking about going to be of interest to them or not.
Okay,
and
sir.
They can also help you to say, okay, this has been done before, don't waste your time. But this is our problems. They can actually give you some problems to solve. See, right now, We have set up an IIT Alumni Center in Bangalore,
Yes, sir.
IIT ACB, and what we are trying to do is to list the expertise of the faculty on one end in the IIT system and what the industry needs are, and see how we can marry them or facilitate projects between them. So that just give you an idea that this is the way to proceed. You can also go to CII industry list and see which are the industries involved, and then reach out to them. Nothing will happen by just sitting in the office. You have to
Yes, sir.
go out and reach out to them.
So groundwork will also be need to done where
Yes,
we
of
connect the
course.
farmers and link them to the industries that they can actually, sell their waste product and get money, and also that will convert to real
Right,
other important products.
right.
Thank you, sir.
Where are you based?
I am in Bombay. I'm from HK College of Pharmacy in Bombay. So
Okay.
I was just thinking of pursuing this project.
Okay.
But then I got to know it's already been done, but it has not been converted to application where you can actually take away the waste instead of burning them in many
Right.
maybe northern areas.
Right. But there in Bombay, there are lots of, I don't want to talk about all that, but IV cap is one. You can Google it and write to them. And if there's an idea which is worth funding, they will fund it to you as an angel fund to begin with, and then later on as a venture fund.
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Sure, sure.
Dr.
Sir, good
Kalyan?
morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Very good morning. Very enthralling lecture, sir. Lot of valuable insights. Sorry, I couldn't connect earlier. I had a problem with my microphone. Sir, I belong to MVGR College of Engineering, Vijayanagaram. So my question is, people sometimes overlook the role of design thinking at early stages in engineering, sir. They cite the reason that students are not equipped with the technology to implement projects. But on the other hand, if design thinking is delayed to later stages, they will not find enough time to do something substantial. So how do we overcome, sir? Is it advisable to have it at the beginning or at a later stage?
Yeah. Some design is important. As I was telling you, one example of that liquid battery. The design is important there because how do you package the battery in a car with a liquid and all that? So design also has to come in at some stage. Surely you may have the best product, but if it's ugly looking and it's cumbersome, then it will not sell. So if you have a design, where are you from?
I'm from MVGR College of Engineering, sir.
Yeah, so if you have a design people in your college, then you should talk to them and see if they can help you with the design, or look for a design college in your area.
Sir, is it suggestible that a crude prototype be built at the
Absolutely.
early years and then
Absolutely.
refined at a later stage? Yes.
Absolutely. A prototype, unless you prove that your system is going to work, design has no meaning. So
Yes.
first you have to prove the prototype and then go for the design.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for the information. It's a
Sure.
very excellent lecture. Lot of insights to gain. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your kind words.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Daku Jindal? Ashish Jadhav? Ashish Jadhav, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Thank you for the very excellent session. Sir, I have one question. Like, I am from a private college, D.Y. Patil University in Navi Mumbai. And I have done my PhD from IIT Kanpur, and I'm a faculty here. Now I see a lot of difference between IITs and many other institutes in India, like our college from where I am. Most of the students are intelligent. They have a lot of passion, but they are driven by getting good jobs and going to US. Now, some of the students, we try them to get into startup and all this culture, innovation and all this. But then we find that the parents discourage them. The parents want them to have a very stable job. So like this struggle is going on in our organization, but we have come up with some ideas, like we are trying to go to schools, and at the 10th standard level, we want to influence the students so that they also understand about innovation and all this, and how they can, some awareness we want to create. So can you please help us, like at a school level, how can we take this message? We are trying to prepare a PPT and video and some interactive sessions for school children to motivate them for this innovation, incubation, innovation and entrepreneurship culture.
Yeah.
That seed is planted. So can you please help us with some ideas or some pointers, like how to take this up?
So DY Patil, I'm a little bit familiar with. I've actually visited there when I was IIT Bombay director.
Okay, sir.
It's quite a good college. And if you are PhD from IIT Kanpur, which area were you a PhD?
I did from electrical, sir.
Electrical. So two things you can influence. You can influence the culture of IIT Kanpur into DY Patil. Not easy to do, but you'll have to do it. And if there are other IIT PhDs also in different departments, you can try to see how you can enhance that culture in DY Patil. So that is one thing. And secondly was what was the last question?
That for the school children, we are trying to sort of influence.
School children, you can actually give them projects and influence them. Many schools now have this Atal innovation hubs. So you should, whichever school that you are interacting with, you should have them apply for the Atal Innovation Hub and encourage them to, because school children are quite bright overall and they can come up with new ideas. You'll have to go and guide them. But they don't have the tools of engineering like you will have, but it can be done. My wife runs an NGO, and it's an NGO school. And there is a company here, and you can also explore companies in your area, which is going to take their kids after 12th for training in the aerospace and make workers in the aerospace area. So all those things are there. It's a huge country, you know. And every place will have their own problems, but at least. And what GRIT did was connect me to so many people. I saw there were about 500 people attending, and I don't know how many on YouTube. I hope they liked what I said.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your inputs and an excellent session. Thank you, sir.
All the best. Yeah.
Sir, when your session was going on, 1,000 people were there on Zoom, sir, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't.
So, as we are taking Q&A, some of people left actually. Total
I couldn't check that. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
1,000 people were there.
I am blessed.
Professor Manavalan?
And let's make that the last question because
yes, sir. Professor.
I mean, I'm
Professor
happy to stay.
Manavalan?
Yeah, but it's up to you.
Professor Manavalan, you can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yeah. Please proceed.
Yes. Professor Dr. Ashok Misra ji.
Yes.
You have made an excellent, wonderful, amazing. I have to thank for All India Council for Technical Education for arranging such a wonderful session. It is a long benefit to the. It is an investment to the students and educational institutions. I am Professor Dr. Manavalan from EDU Academy from Chennai, and I am residing at Tiruchirappalli. My question is very simple question. Sir, what kind of initiatives institutions have to take for doing self-motivation to the students?
Yeah, of course, you have to see, students come, they are raw. And as somebody mentioned, they are unfortunately influenced too much by the parents and many times by the coaching institutions that they have gone to in the past. And that is why there is this craze for going into computer science only. But you are the ones, once you get them, by the classroom interactions, you have to motivate them into thinking innovatively, give them some freedom. Don't say this is the thing, you have to do this, and final exam is this and the like. So do the curriculum, but make it more innovative. So we were talking about innovations and creativity. You have to be innovative and creative in the teaching and the transmission of knowledge that you do. That will help motivate the students quite a bit. And this is, in some colleges, it does happen, and you find that the students are quite energetic in those places. They have to come to each class. They have to make sure that they don't cut classes. If you're not motivated enough, then attendance will be low and all those things are going on.
Sir, is there any special innovative class to be arranged by the institutions? Is there any curriculum itself to make a special class for innovation? It will be benefited? I think All India Council for Technical Education also should take this suggestion.
Okay.
Curriculum itself, it should be added.
Should be added, yeah. Okay. But you may be governed by the local university. Unless you become autonomous, you may not have that freedom. But I don't know exactly how things work in an affiliated college.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. Thank you. Thank you a lot. Wonderful.
Sure.
You made a wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sir, our director, Dr. Jatarayan Murthy Garu, is actually in USA. So he has joined from USA. He is actually alumni of IIT Madras. He worked 25 years in Indian Air Force. Then he joined GRAT. And past 15 years he was principal, sir. Now he is director. So he is there online, sir. Please, I request you to speak.
Namaskar, Dr.
Hello,
Mishra ji.
namaskar.
It was a wonderful session. You have succinctly put about creation and innovation in technology in the last 1 hour itself. Thank you very much, sir. What I thought is I just add only few sentences assuring, because some of the doubts raised, you have answered them already. We follow that Atal Tinkering Lab and call it as greetings.
Okay.
And as an extension activity, outreach activity, we go to schools and teach them. We also have the Idea Labs here. And to our own satisfaction, we are proud of the startups that have started in our institution and went outside. They're not, I would say, unicorns yet, but they're fast reaching towards that path. So, and we would like you to visit our institution and sort of motivate us and give us fresh inputs to our students. We look forward for such, opportunity.
Yeah. So one thing any startup doesn't have to be a unicorn. Unicorn is a hype, but it could be less than a unicorn, but yes, providing enough ideas and inputs to the industry and the society. So you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I will definitely visit. These days I was not so much, on the very lighter side. After this pandemic, at least how it has affected me, I mean, so many other things are going on, is that motivation to go to the airport, which is 1 hour away from my home. Then you have to go 1 hour before, and then wait there, then fly to Hyderabad or wherever, and then I believe you're not far from the airport, so that's a good thing. All that travel, one started to shy away from travel, but I have to get back into the travel mode. Then I'll come. That was the only reason.
Understand, sir. But if you happen to be in Hyderabad for any
I'll come for you only. Yeah. What is that?
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. We have another challenging one for all these branches, like core engineering branches, sir, that is opting to or waiting for a government job, especially in our state, sir. That is yet another challenge for all of us. There is a new trend. One is the parents want everybody to go to computer science branches or computer related branches, and the other 3 branches, especially in our state, they wait for only the government job. The mindset changing is yet another challenge for all of us. It is just an observation. Just wanted to inform you. Thank you, sir.
But that's not such a bad thing because government needs good people. Government jobs, yeah. All right. So it could be in the water resources, or it could be electricity boards and so on and so forth. So that's not bad. If they're good engineers and they go to these places, they can make a huge difference there.
Thank you, sir.
Nice to join you. Where are you in the States?
Right now in Houston, sir. I'm just midnight past. It's about 12:40 now.
Oh,
but
sorry.
It was wonderful to wait for this session. Thank you very much.
Good. I'm so glad you attended. When you're back, I'll be in touch with
certainly
Srinivas and Mr. Praveen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Now over to Dr. Srinivas Ragaru for vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind presentation. Really, it is a great opportunity for us to have a presentation from a distinguished professor like you. There are three things that I have considered, sir. One is the content of your presentation, spectrum of the audience and the questions they posed, and the present need of the higher education system. And the main thing is that implementation of the new education policy. And your presentation is well composed to answer all these aspects, sir. Particularly for the implementation of the national education policy, the self-financing institutions like us, from where we have to start and what we have to implement. This was a buzzing question for us. Now we have showed a lot of solutions in our presentation, sir, particularly in either in the basic R&D or in the applied R&D, innovations in technology, and you have given so many examples, sir. Really, that will be very much helpful to all those participants who have presented here, sir. Really, it is an excellent presentation, sir, a well-composed presentation, sir. We are very much happy for this presentation, sir. I hope that AICT did a great job for us by allocating you as a distinguished professor for us, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And I hope that the same will be.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And I have to propose the vote of thanks, sir.
So before you go to the vote of thanks, between your faculty, I mean, today there were so many people from various places, but we can have just a question answer discussion session between just us before I can visit.
Okay, okay.
Please feel free to, Professor Praveen, you can.
Yeah, sure, sir. We will. What we can do, sir, maybe next week, whenever you have free time, we will have one more session for only exclusively GRAT, sir, so that we can share about the inputs from the GRAT and you can guide us, our faculty.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, sir. I'm very much thankful to Dr. Ashok Misra for his excellent presentation. And I'm also very much thankful to our management and principal for providing all the facilities for arranging this program. And I'm also thankful to Dr. Amit Kumar Srivatsav, Director AICTE, for his encouragement and providing all the facilities and also allocating Dr. Ashok Misra for us, and all the participants who have patiently participated in the program and clarified their doubts. And I'm also thankful all the HODs, deans, faculty and students of GRAT for their cooperation and attending the webinar. I'm very much thankful to all of you. Once again, I thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks for arranging it. And
thank you, sir. Thank you.
I didn't know how it will go, but it seemed to have gone well. So
no,
I'm happy.
It goes in a wonderful way.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye. So shall I log off?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay, Professor Praveen and
yes, sir.
Gopal Krishnan, thank you for coordinating.